this
I think if you study, which I have done, the budgets of the Gujarat government in the 12 years during and before Mr. Modi, one of the things that was very clear, it ran up huge deficits. Now that, you might think that that's terrible, but Gujaratis don't. They think that it's good because somebody's spending money.
Correct.
I think here, also there has to be that kind of an attitude that we run up the deficits, but we increase the productivity, we increase the manufacturing capacity, all of that, but run up productive deficits.
How do you think the markets are going to respond to that? If she's not going to keep the 5.1% promise, fiscal deficit,
the world markets is going to collapse.
How do you think the last week is going to respond?
All I want to say
I think she should stick to the fiscal glide path, 4.5% by 26-27.
Desai, the Americans run up a huge deficit.
The world runs on the dollar.
But
so what?
No,
So
one
then-
second.
But we don't get to print the
It's the default
rupee.
currency of the
I'm
world.
just
We
saying,
don't get to
but-
print the rupee
but
at will.
one
They
thing,
get to
but
print dollars at will. We don't get to. So we've
consumer
got a problem there.
expenditure consumption is always increasing.
Sir,
So you
in America.
I'm okay with running up fiscal deficit if it is productive.
Productive,
It's great.
yeah.
But then you also have to look at it concomitantly with the other kind of fiscal deficit drivers.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, you need to find a balance. The problem has never been high fiscal deficit. You have an FRBM target of 3%, but there's no real logic to the way it is.
We're running up the fiscal,
No,
and we also have 800 million people on food subsidies. We have several other subsidies. We have an MSP, growing MSP budget per year. You have fertilizer subsidy, you have power subsidy, you have tax write-offs.
Everything is subsidized.
I mean,
You're absolutely right. We have to behave fiscally responsibly. Now our markets are linked to the global markets. The reality is that we want to keep the good name of the country in the world. We need FDI, and so, but there are other routes to raise. Exactly. So there are other routes. There's the privatization has been a real failure in our country. I mean, I remember the days when Shori was the minister for disinvestment, and it was like every month was a Diwali.
we've missed our targets on privatization by 80%. Budget after budget.
We very rarely met the target.
Plus, there's a lot of surplus land which is controlled by the defense, by the railways. There's a huge land
across urban India. In fact, they're affecting the quality of life in cities, I would say.
So then you have that. You can sell off those things, and plus you have things like the RBI dividend, other things which should, we need to pay back our debt. 40 or I think 50% of the revenue. Well, I don't know what the statistic is today, but a little while ago, it was almost 50% of the money going into paying for your old
Paying
debt.
back debts. Okay, money going into paying back debts. Are we richer as a nation, and is the government richer in its purse? Does it have deeper pockets than it had in 2014 and 2019? I think collectively all of us will say yes. Does it have the arm room or the leg room to try and spend a little more towards welfare, or are we already having an overdose of welfare? Coming back again, gentlemen and the lady, to our viewers also. It's not about what the government is going to give me, which will help me give me temporary relief. That's important. Yes, I would like a tax off too. I would like some ease on the brackets and some more money in my pocket. But long term, this is the challenge, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't have a budget that is going to create 1 crore jobs per annum, we as a nation will not grow at the rate at which we need to grow to become a Viksit Bharat, to become competitive. And if we don't create 1 crore jobs, no matter what SOPs and what welfare we get, within a decade, we are going to be bankrupt. We're going to look at problems. We're going to look at serious issues. That's where it is. We're just going to hold here. It's just a comma. Back after a break on the CNN News 18 DBS Budget Day studio with the NDA 3.2 Budget Day live coverage. Stay with us.